Hello, people. It's LFC Plavi here, and today I'm just going to react to the game that Tottenham played in the Europa League final against Manchester United. I mean, this is not really a reaction to the game, it is just comments about the implications of the win that Tottenham got last night. So Tottenham won the Europa League. It is something that I said on this channel in some of my previous videos that Tottenham were going to win, because I just thought, first of all, Ange said that he wins things in the second season. Secondly, Tottenham hasn't lost to Manchester United since 2023. So I didn't really see any reason why it would change now. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about is the implications of this win. Right, so the first trophy they've won in 17 years. That is a long time. No matter what you think about Ange Postecoglou, he's made history. Whether you think he's a bad coach, whether you think he's a clown. Of course, he said he's not a clown before the game, and he's actually proven that he's not a clown. He's gone over the line. Other coaches haven't been able to get over the line, and this is going to be bad news for them, that Tottenham has been able to win the Europa League. So this brings me to Arsenal. All right, let's talk about Arsenal. Let's have a conversation about Arsenal Football Club. I mean, a lot of people think Arteta should go because he hasn't won anything in 5 years. Of course, he did win the FA Cup in his first half season, so we shouldn't discount that. But at the same time, after winning that trophy, they've run a bit close to winning the Premier League on 2 occasions. I would say they've only come close in 2 occasions. They were never close this season. So let's not kid ourselves. Arsenal were never in contention to win the Premier League this season. So, and if we all agree that they were never in contention to win the Premier League, then really what happened this season was that they were never in contention to win anything, because they never got to any final in the remaining competitions. So they didn't really mount a challenge in anything. Now, as to whether you think Arteta should stay or go, for me, I'm a Liverpool fan. So what I do think is that it will be good for me, for Liverpool, if Arteta stays, because I know he isn't going to really pose much of a threat. So for those Arsenal fans who think Arteta should stay, who are always defending Arteta, good for you. For me, I think it doesn't reflect good on the club to let Arteta stay after 5 years. But it's good for me as an opponent, because I know that it gives my team a much higher chance of winning, right? So, for example, if I say Arteta should go, what if Arteta leaves and they bring in a coach who wins the league in his first season? That wouldn't be good for me, right? So, as much as I agree with people who say Arteta can get them over the line, I do agree with that. He can get them over the line. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he can never win anything with Arsenal. Next season, he could win something with Arsenal. My only issue is that with Arteta, from his track record in the last 5 years, he has never been able to compete on multiple fronts. It is always a single challenge, either in the Premier League or in another competition, right? He has never been able to reach the final of one competition whilst pushing a team in the Premier League title challenge, right? So in the past 2 seasons where he's challenged City, it was only the league, right? Everything else, he went out pretty much in the quarterfinals. This season, he got to the semi-final because more or less all attention was on the Champions League. So he has never been able to compete on multiple fronts. And for me, I think the hallmark of a good coach, or a coach who can consistently win you trophies, is one that is able to challenge on multiple fronts, and Arteta hasn't been able to do that. So even if he ends up winning a trophy next season, it is going to be a one-off. The reason why it's going to be a one-off is that he might win maybe a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup or even the Premier League, but it's going to be a one-off. He will not be able to go on and win trophy after trophy, season in, season out. That is what I think. So for anyone who is defending Arteta, good for you. For me, I think that is how I see him. He might be able to win something, but it's only going to be once a while. He might win trophies once a while. It is not going to continue. Of course, he's won the FA Cup before, and how many years since then? It's been 5 years since then. He hasn't won anything. So even if he wins something next season, I don't think he wins anything the following season or the next right? It might take a couple of years to win something else. So if you really want a coach who can win you trophy after trophy after trophy, season in, season out, I don't think Arteta is the man to go with. Let's look at what Hansi Flick did with Barca this season. What coaches like Simeone Inzaghi have done with Inter Milan. They win season in, season out, or they challenge on multiple fronts, right? You can see that. So I don't see Arteta being in that same bracket. And I think that is the main reason why, for those who think Arteta should go, I don't think buying a striker, buying attackers, no matter the amount of players Arsenal buy, the main thing is the tactics. For me, football is all about coaching. It is all about coaching. No matter what you think about player quality and so on and so forth, it is about coaching. So I'm not quite sure Arteta will be able to get the best out of the players that Arsenal are looking to buy, even if they do end up getting them over the line. I don't think Arteta is the man to get the best out of those players, because I think if you give the same Arsenal team, the same players to a different coach, like Hansi Flick, like Slot, like Inzaghi, or you can make your pick. I think that any other coach gets better out of this team, this Arsenal team, than Arteta, right? At least he gets to a final. At least Slot would get to a final with this team. I think Hansi Flick will get to a final with this Arsenal team, in spite of the injuries. Don't get me wrong. The injuries did have an effect on Arsenal's season, but I still do think they had a good enough team to get to a final, at least. So that is my take on the Arsenal situation, and the fact that Tottenham has won a trophy. It's not good for Arsenal. It is not good. It doesn't look good for Arsenal. No matter how you try to spin it, this is not good. So it's going to be a long summer for Arsenal fans and Arsenal Football Club, and even next season. If the season doesn't start well for Arsenal, I think there's going to be a lot of trouble. So that is my take. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, smash it in fact, if you want, and also comment down below or let me know your thoughts. Both Arsenal fans and rival fans, what do you think about Arteta staying? For me, I want him to stay because it is good news for any other opponent if Arteta stays, because I know they are only going to challenge on one front. They can't challenge on multiple fronts with Arteta. So let me know your thoughts.